and was checked. The puck sat there for a moment. Now York is shot. Score! Cam York's first in the National, and it's 2-1 Philadelphia.
This is episode 101 of the Liberty-O. Danny Deemer here with Chris Stonebow.
As always, how are you, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing good. It's that week.
It is.
It's
Finally.
the beginning of the season. Finally, dude. This felt like such a long off season.
It did. I know.
At least it wasn't a bad one.
Yeah. I mean, at least it wasn't as bad as the previous 3 or 4 because, I mean, I feel like we got accustomed to extremely bad off seasons. I mean, I went into last season numb. I don't know about you. I'm pretty sure you did too. But it's nice it's nice going into a season not numb and kind of excited with set expectations. I mean, obviously this team's not going to be in a playoff picture come April or March, but they're going to be entertaining to watch. I mean, me and you just got done talking about how we're actually excited to see what this team can do because obviously playoffs is a really far-fetched thing, but they have skill. And I know you said something a couple of days ago. I forget exactly. You were the underrated skill.
Yeah,
know what I mean?
It's just sneaky. Nothing more. It's just it can sneak up on a team if they're not careful enough. But it's not like Tampa Bay Lightning. It's none of that. It's not even New Jersey Devil. Like it's not in that same stratosphere. But
yeah, I mean, I guess the overall excitement. I already have a bet set for tomorrow night with those 3 games. That should be fun. But yeah, just excited to get hockey going because I mean, I was just telling Derek a couple of days ago. I feel like this has been an extraordinary long off season. I don't know if it's. I mean, we're used to not making the playoffs, so like, it's not that. I mean, I can't sit back and be like, oh, it's because we didn't have the playoffs, and we're like used to being in watching hockey in April and May and stuff like that. But it's not that. So I don't know why this off season felt as long as it did, but definitely excited to get things rolling again.
I think it's probably getting the franchise prospect. You know,
you think so?
And he has a bit of a ticking time bomb on him, or ticking time clock on him for when he can come over. So it's like, it just kind of makes you more excited. Want that 2 or 3 years or however long it's going to be to go by as fast as possible. It just kickstarted a whole thing. Like this year is all about, at the end of the year, when you take a look at the team and you go, all right, now add Couturier and Matvei Michkov. What does the team look like when you add those two? That's what it's all about. Like, is the team going to be in a position is that just going to be like an adrenaline shot in the arm when those two join? That's what I'm looking for. The supporting cast. That's really what it's about.
I mean, especially Cutter, because you know Cutter is... I mean, obviously I have no inside information, but I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say after this season, after his sophomore season in Boston College, he's probably going to sign with the Flyers. I mean, you're going to see him play a couple games come April. I mean, I just don't see how it doesn't happen. You know what I mean? I'm surprised he went back. But when you actually think about it, how surprised can you actually be when it's Gabe Perreault, Will Smith, and Ryan Leonard, all freshmen on that team? I mean, I would want to go back and play with them and try to win a championship too. So I just don't see how he's on a Flyer. Yeah.
When does their season end? Like, say they're making a playoff run. When would their season actually end? Because
pretty sure late March. Pretty sure their season would end late March, and then like it would, or middle March. I forget. I'm not too familiar with the college schedule, but it's definitely either in the middle of March or end of March. Their season would end.
If that bleeds into April.
Oh, there's definitely a scenario where he doesn't if he goes deep enough.
Yeah, that would suck. Because that's definitely what I'm looking forward to towards the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean. We would 100% see him in training camp the next couple months around. I mean, and maybe in like an insane scenario, Michkov, but I don't see that happening. That's a dream scenario, but definitely Cutter.
The way he's playing,
right? And then I was talking to Derek, like the fact that how does he walk back into that SKA locker room next year? You know what I mean? It has to be awkward for everyone involved. So
like how can that coach ever tell him what to do again?
It's just an extremely weird dynamic, and I know it's Russia, and just Russia itself has an extremely weird dynamic with everything going on, and with how they deal with players, especially of Michkov's caliber. And kid's definitely got a ego about. I mean, not like in a bad way, but he's definitely him and Couturier are going to be pretty fun to watch in orange and black, especially the way they celebrate goals and stuff. It's just Michkov's an extremely touchy subject because you just don't know what's going to happen. Like 1 week it could be up, 1 week it could be down. You just don't know what's going to happen over there.
It's kind of what makes it so exciting.
Yeah.
In a way, because like this offseason, you could just get that bomb dropped out of nowhere. It's like, oh, yeah. Michkov's coming over, and suddenly, just like that, the whole. You hear this guy with the motorcycle?
Yeah, wow.
Suddenly, the whole complexion of the franchise changes. Like, if he just ups and decides, let's say they finished 3 points out this year. They were that close, but they were right in the middle, and he's like, fuck it, I'm coming over.
See, like, the crazy thing is, I can't even sit here and be like, oh, but he has a 3-year contract and blah, blah, blah. Like, crazier shit has happened, and he's Matvei Michkov. Like, he could just turn around and be like, I don't want to fucking go back to that locker room. Like, he's definitely... He definitely reminds me of a player that would do that. You know what I mean? Not that it's a bad thing, but I mean, if that's a situation he doesn't want to be in, and it's got to be awkward, like we just said, thinking about walking back into that locker room. So it's something to keep tabs on because, like I said, it's Russia and crazier things have happened over there. So
yeah, like if the writing's on the wall that he wants to leave and he's performing at the level he is, like undeniable level, couldn't Comcast just throw a bag at them, and wouldn't they like want to take that because what do you have to lose? Like he's gonna leave anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
should we do that? I don't know.
I have no idea. I feel like we're getting into some speculation because I have no idea. I mean, I'm sure Comcast would have the fucking money to do that, no doubt, and I'm sure they wouldn't be shy to do so. But I don't know, man. Just the fact that we're talking about the scenario where he's going to come over, we just don't know when. It is insane. I was just thinking about coming home from work.
Think of that day.
No, I don't even want to think about it because I'm gonna be like, I can't even picture that day because it still feels extremely fake to me. Like
yeah, I agree. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, until I see him talking really bad English but trying his hardest to speak good English in a Flyers jersey in like Voorhees at the skate zone, getting introduced. That's when it all kind of hit me. But like, still, it's just. I'm not saying I'm not one of those guys where like, oh, he's never coming over. It's Russia. It's the Flyers in Russia. It's never. I'm not saying that. It's just when I do see him in that chair speaking to media in a Flyers uniform talking about signing his ELC, it's just that's when it's all going to hit me. Just the fact that we really have this kid and he fell to 7, so it's incredible. He didn't have any points today. I mean, he plays at 12:30. But I'm pretty sure he has 12 points in 11 games now with Sochi since being loaned there. So that's incredible. 5 goals, 7 assists, 12 points in 11 games with Sochi. I mean, as an 18-year-old, after the start that he had with SKA, I mean,
you gotta love that game against SKA too.
Oh my gosh, I know.
You have to love that shit.
We didn't even talk about that because we recorded like 2 weeks ago. So the fact that he did it again. People were saying in the comments to a couple of our videos, they were like, I'm surprised he didn't do something to SKA's bench. And I'd be like, I mean, he does kind of have to go back there next year, right? I mean,
yeah.
We just talked about, it's going to be awkward, but at the same time, he does have a contract with them. And if they turn around and say, I mean, after
you don't want to do that.
Yeah, like, because after this year ends, he has to go back. Like, the loan is for this year and this year only, so he has to go back eventually. So, I mean, you don't want to burn your bridges too bad, you know what I mean? Like, he's still going to be your coach next year, so. But he definitely has that personality where you can see him doing something, like, subtle, maybe. You know what I mean? Maybe not too over the top, but subtle.
Yeah, for sure. I don't want to see this kid at SKA next year.
I just don't see how it happens, Danny. I think something that we don't know about is going to happen. Like, something that we can't sit here and predict right now will happen with Michkov, whether it's he goes back to Sochi, whether drama happens and he wants to come here. I don't know what it's going to be, but I just don't see a scenario where he walks back into that locker room. I really don't. I know he has a contract. I get it, but it's tough for me. I just don't see it, man. So obviously wasn't given ice time for a specific reason. And sat for 2 games and then played 6 minutes the one game that he did play for them. So, I mean, it's got to be... I mean, like, dude, fucking 12 points in 11 games as an 18-year-old in the KHL. I mean, he's on pace for 64 and 64, dude. That's shattering records. And SKA didn't even want to play him. Just something's fishy.
Like
right?
In the beginning, I almost gave him the benefit of the doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I saw those quotes, like, "Oh, he's got to earn it. He's got to earn it." I was like, "Okay." I was like, "I like what I'm hearing." Like, Tortorella spews the same bullshit over here. So like, what's the difference? But the way things started playing out, and it's game 2-3, and Ivan Demidov, or how is that how you say his name?
Demidov, something like that.
Yeah,
Demidov.
And he's getting in roster opportunities before Michkov. I'm like, okay, something's wrong here. Yeah. Something's up here. He's too good. He's undeniably good.
Yeah, he's ridiculous, dude. But you want to switch to the actual Flyers. I know it's fun talking about Michkov. I mean, I could sit here and do it all day, to be honest with you. But,
yeah, let's get into them preseason games. So we haven't covered any one of them, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're preseason. It's so hard to actually sit here and talk about them in detail because, I mean, they are just preseason games.
Yeah, I think you just talk about, like, individual players.
Like, yeah, like Brink.
Brink, yeah.
Andrea, Forster's mediocre play, but still here. Not me saying he shouldn't be here, but I mean, he definitely didn't blow the doors down at all. Brink was definitely 100% better than him throughout camp, in my opinion, from start to finish. Oh, he was awesome. He won a spot. Bobby Brink won a spot. I mean, this team is not competing for a playoff spot. This team is tanking, but not tanking, per Briere. Bobby Brink won a spot on this hockey team. So if he's not in the lineup Thursday, I'd be shocked. It would be just the complete opposite of what they've preached for the last summer. I mean, I get it. Injuries happen. He's going to be in the lineup. I get it. But the precedent that it sets, I don't like. You spent all summer telling people, don't be comfortable. You think you got a spot? Don't be comfortable. Blah, 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 blah. And then like Bobby Brink wins a spot. 1,000% was the best player on the ice for the Flyers throughout preseason and training camp. And he's not going to be on the roster. Going to be on the roster. I mean, right now, per our boy Anthony DeMarco, the Flyers will be carrying 8 defensemen, and they will be carrying the 3 goalies to start the season. So apparently they do not want to lose Sandstrom. So the defensemen will be York Ristolainen, Stahl, Sanheim, Sealer, Walker, Zamula, Andrea. And then the 3 goalies that they're keeping. So that means one of Brink or Forster can't be here because Delorier, Paling, and Hathaway is not getting broken up per Tortorella. And Allison got waived and cleared and then sent down to the Phantom. So he's no longer here taking up a spot. So it's either Forster or Brink. One of those guys go down to make it to 23 guys, because right now it's at 24. Or they waive Sandstrom, because apparently they're keeping the 8D, so Andrea and Zamula made the team. It's one of those guys. Right?
Wasn't Brink just playing with the first power play group, or the first line?
Yeah, he's been on the first line throughout, like towards the end of camp. He was on the first line in a couple of preseason games too. But
if I had to take a guess, early guess,
what do you think happens?
I think Forster's the one that.
See, I don't.
He's the odd man out.
With the way that Tortorella has been talking about him, I just don't see that. It's just the complete opposite with.
Yeah, but in the same breath, like Tortorella also said, like I find it hard to take Bobby Brink out of a top 6 role right now.
He did say that as well. Yeah, it's confusing, dude. It really is. I'm interested to see what happens. I don't know. I mean, the most logical thing is you waive Sandstrom. Why are you afraid to lose him? Like, why are they acting?
You clearly don't like him. I mean, we clearly don't like him. Yeah, like the organization, Tortorella. Well, maybe that's kind of a rough way to put it. Like they're clearly the ship has sailed.
I mean, look what happened last year, Danny. Look what happened last year when Tortorella finally got Samuel Urson. He acted like Sandstrom didn't exist. I mean, he went Sandstrom in like back-to-back games when he went Urson in back-to-back games when Sandstrom was sitting right there. And it's so obviously he likes Urson better. He's already come out and said that Urson will be the backup this year, at least to start the season. So we know that Sandstrom's not going to be the backup, so you waive him. I mean, they're afraid that Tampa, who's looking for a goalie right now because Vasilevsky's injured, they're afraid Tampa's going to... I mean, who cares? I mean, you're not going to get a 4th or 5th round pick for him. He's obviously not valuable to any team out there because if he was, he'd be gone by now. Why are you afraid to lose him? I mean, goalie depth is critical throughout our system, and we have it. But I don't think losing Sandstrom would be like the end of the world. I mean, I get it. They're trying to not lose an asset for nothing, but how much of an asset is it? You know what I mean? It's just kind of it's confusing to me.
Yeah, I agree, man. You know who should be the odd man out?
Sandstrom.
I think it's the right wing logjam, this, that, and the third. It's Cam Atkinson, and it's clearly Cam Atkinson.
I mean, him or Lawton, but I mean that Lawton's never getting traded. That's not happening.
Bobby Brink is already a better Cam Atkinson. He already could do exactly what Atkinson could do. I mean, maybe Atkinson in his heyday was better, but Atkinson now, Bobby Brink can do that. At least that's how I feel.
I mean, minus PK. I mean, Brink can do it, but I don't think he's as good as a PK guy as Atkinson right now. But I get what you're saying. At that age, Brink's, 22, 21. Atkinson is coming off injuries.
And Brink's only going to get better. He's going to improve. He's cheaper.
I mean, you tell me this, Danny. What top 6 do you like better? Ready? Farabee, Couturier, Konechny, Atkinson, Frost, Tippett. Or Farabee, Couturier, Konechny, Brink, Frost, Tippett.
Second one?
Yeah, I mean, it's not hard to fucking to see what you're saying there. Like, you're not saying Atkinson, he's better than Atkinson back in Atkinson's heyday, but right now it's definitely. I mean, you're not losing much, is what you're trying to say. If you were to trade
I think
Atkinson.
you can fill that role a lot cheaper.
Yeah, and a lot younger, that's for sure. But
and we have plenty of guys to play the PK. I mean, you just signed 3 penalty killers.
I mean, to be honest with you, Danny, the logical, without trading anybody, the logical thing would just to be sit one of Delorier or Hathaway, but they're not breaking up that fourth line for some reason.
No, they won't, because you know how hockey is.
I know.
They love to give the veteran the opening night game. It's always how this shit goes. It's annoying as hell, but if you're a veteran and you sign to it, it's why Mark Stahl got the number over Forrester. It's just a hockey thing. I wouldn't be surprised if they put Stahl in top 4 minutes.
Oh, Stahl will 100% be paired with Sanheim in the top 4 Thursday night. 1,000%. The defense is going to be Yorick, Ristolainen.
Hockey right there.
It's going to be Yorick, Risto, Stahl, Sanheim, Sealer, Walker. I 1,000% believe that's going to be that. Maybe Zamula for Sealer. But, I mean, dude, maybe they run a little bit more than 6 defensemen on Thursday night. But then again, Forrester or Brink would have to sit. And Tortorella did talk about how they might go Brink one night, Forrester one night, Brink one other night, and then keep going like that until one of them pulls away.
Which, if you're going to do that, I think the end game has to be getting rid of someone else to make room for both of them. You can't just do that all year. At least I don't think so.
I think it's stupid. I think that's a dumb way to go about it. You're not fucking going for anything. We're not a playoff team. We're not trying to win anything. Why are you playing duck,
Guys
goose?
Need minutes. They need minutes.
It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I get it. Injuries happen. Again, I understand that. They are going to play. But at the same time, I just don't understand why they can't play now. I mean, just make room. Like you said. Give them the spots that they deserve. They won spot. I mean, at least Brink did. I wasn't that impressed with Forrester, but apparently Torts liked what he saw. But of course, Torts is going to like what he sees from Forrester because he likes Forrester. But it just, the whole flip-flopping thing doesn't make sense to me when, I mean, I can see if Brink also had a mediocre camp. I mean, then you would just send them back. But it's just, like you said, it's stupid. But that's the lineup you'll probably see. Farabee, Couturier, Konechny, Atkinson, Frost, Tippett, Lawton, Cates, one of Forrester or Brink on the right wing, and then Delorier, Paling, Hathaway. That'll be your lineup Thursday against Columbus, probably.
I'd rather them just give one of them dudes the Cam York treatment, send them down there for however many games, call them up when they're ready, then do that seesaw, teeter-totter, back and forth. It's no good. It's no good. You're going to have guys, they're going to be gripping their stick too tight because it's they're going to be playing and thinking every mistake that they make is the end of the world because they're subbed out every game for a guy who's good. Brink and Forster are good. So, if one of them sits at night, Forster comes in, bangs a couple one-timers.
Yeah, all it takes is one game for them.
The other guy. Rattle Brink's confidence, yeah.
I agree. I don't think it's good for the player. I don't think it's good for the team.
And I'm just going to add this. What a backhanded compliment it is to be like, yo, you made the team. But you're not playing for 4 games. It's did I really make the team then? You might as well just make me a first-line player on the Phantoms.
For at least the first 4 games, right?
It's so
See,
stupid.
Danny, maybe we're just overreacting. And in 2-3 games, both those guys will have top 9 spots, and we'll live happily ever after.
It's definitely a minor issue, but
still an issue. I mean,
yeah,
you could say the same thing about the defense right now, right? And I'll say it.
But defense is a little different though, because the guys are so young and like.
Zamula earned a spot. Zamula should be in the opening day lineup, opening night lineup, 1,000%.
I think Emil should be too. To be honest with you,
they both do, and I get it. Like Emil, especially Andrea, he's young. He's 21 years old. I get it with the young defenseman thing, but I mean, if I'm Tortorella right now, and I understand the, like you just said 5 minutes ago, the veteran shit. Stahl will play. He will be in the top 4. So it's going to go York, Risto, Stahl, Sanheim, Sealer, Walker. But my lineup would be York, Ristolainen, Zamula, Sanheim, Andrea, Walker. And then have Sealer as your 7th.
Yeah, and what's really annoying about this is I guarantee you'll get that by like game 35. It's going to look great in game 35, and he's going to stick with it from there on out. It's just what we just mentioned before. That early season veteran bullshit, man. I'm
going to say it.
Because it happened last year, too, I feel like. Like, towards the end of the year, he's like, all right, Frost, join the top 6. All right, York, get the call up. And it's like...
Definitely finished the season playing the kids, absolutely. You can't argue that.
I don't know why he starts it like this, though. I don't know why hockey guys are so... They love this, dude. They really do. They love starting the veteran. I remember Dave Haxtell did the same shit. Like, they all love it.
Yeah, they do. But... it should still be fun. I mean, I am still excited to watch it, but I just don't really understand the Stahl signing, especially when you still have Sealer here. Because, I mean, to put it blunt, he's blocking Zamula right now. I think Zamula deserves to be in the opening night lineup. I think Zamula deserves to be paired with either Walker or Sanheim. 1,000%. I mean, and then you can make the same case for Andrea. So, I don't think the Stahl signing makes sense. I never did. I mean, people are going to point to, hey, I mean, we can get a pick for him. I mean, he got traded, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was either 2020 or 2021 to Detroit. And granted, he had a $5.5 million tag on him, so he wasn't going to get traded for much for future considerations at the time. I get it. He has what? He makes like what, 800, maybe $1 million. I forget how much he makes.
Yeah, 800.
How much do you, like, what? Like, the people who are like, we're going to get picked for him. What do you think you're going to get from Mark Stahl? Seriously. A 6th? A 5th if you're lucky? Like, I don't understand that. And then if you point, and then people will point to, oh, he's a veteran. What are Couturier? What's Couturier? What's Atkinson? What's Lawton? What's the entire 4th line? What's Sealer? What's Walker? What's Ristolainen and Sanheim? Who are both 27, 28. Like, what are we talking about? Vets. Oh, he's a vet. Oh, this team... we have... half the team are vets. I just listed all of them. All those guys are like 30 and up. Couturier, 30. Atkinson, definitely 30 and up. Lawton, he's getting there. Delorier, I'm pretty sure he's there. Hathaway, 100% there. Ristolainen's 28, Sanheim's 27. Stahl, I think he's like 36. Sealer's definitely 30. And then Walker's like 28, 29. So I don't understand when people are like, oh, veterans, we need more veterans. Like, we have them. We have plenty of them. Plenty of vets to protect our guys. We don't need more. The Stahl signing never made sense, and it never will. I don't care what anybody says, dude.
I think, and I don't agree with it. I think their viewpoint is, like Cam York, Emil, they're all young, and they haven't really been through the fire yet. They haven't really been in big games, big moments. Like I think it's their thinking is you want a guy who's been in long seasons, long road trips, deep playoff runs, just a seasoned guy who can kind of show them the way. But like, not saying they should have done it, but I think
like Sealer can't do that.
I guess not.
Walker can't do that for you.
Nah, like Mark Stahl has been through it a little more than those guys.
But like, what are you preparing them for?
I don't know.
I just don't like. What's 30 games gonna do? 40 games gonna do? I don't think it makes sense. Yeah, plenty of vets in the lineup to show these young guys. how to play on the ice and how to act off the ice. It just doesn't make sense to me. But I mean, it's if that's what I'm complaining about on a rebuilding team, then I mean, it's not much. There's not much to complain about throughout the entire lineup.
It's low-key a good problem to have
in
a weird way. It's like you have too many guys knocking on the door.
Yeah, I mean, and he's not going to be here. I don't know what the fuck we're going to get back for him, but there's no way he's here past trade deadline. So one of Andrea or Zamula will be playing top 4 minutes.
He's sitting 7 games in, like dead ass. Like it's just the thing. Like you give the veteran the opening night game, but I really do think this could age terribly. I do think he's sat quickly. I think he's just.
I don't know about sat. I do think he would ride the bench 1-2 games here and then play another game. I think it would be like the same, like the back and forth with him. I don't think he would sit for an extended period of time. Like, he's going to be around until trade deadline time. Like we're going to be Stahl's in the lineup tonight kind of thing until February, right, or March, whenever the trade deadline is.
Yeah, it's probably going to be like we play 2 offensive teams, you put like the younger guy in or whatever, and then
and then when you play the Islanders, you need Mark Stahl in there, baby. You need him. You need him, man. You need him to show York how to fucking throw a hit. That's what York needs to fucking be taught. Oh, I love it. I love it. Mark Stahl should be fun. Number 18 took it right from Forrester, like you just said 20 minutes ago. That was weird. How like
yeah, you can tell Tyson was a little impressed by it. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, he's probably thinking the same thing I just said. Mark fucking Stahl comes in here. 36-year-old Mark Stahl walks in here and just takes my number. That's what I'd say. I'd be like, what the fuck, dude? It's not cool. It's like I'm gonna be here in 2 years, dude. You're not. Like, why the fuck are you coming in here taking my number? Why couldn't you go take 71 or like 70? Like, who gives a fuck what you wear, dude? You're gonna be here for like 40 games. 30 games.
But the number of our first round pick. You know what I mean?
Who's like make the team out of camp.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck, dude? Love it, man. I love it. That's pure Flyers. Give it to the vet, man. We need more vets. We need vets.
That's not just the Flyers. That's like every team.
Yeah,
but
that's just hockey, dude. I was just gonna I was just going to say, let's talk about Michkov, but we literally just we started the first 10 minutes talking about him. But Emil Andrea, that's somebody that you just mentioned after I talked about Zamula. I would like to hear your thoughts on him, because he definitely, in my opinion, if we're talking pure camp and preseason, he deserves a look October 12th too, to be playing that in that opening night lineup. If you
He's
ask
a
me.
dog, bro.
He's awesome.
I love his swagger out there. Like you could tell he's like confidence personified. Like you could just see him out there. He's confident. He's throwing hits, and he's smooth, bro. Like he is real smooth with the puck. I think it was the first home preseason game or wherever he hit that breakout and got us that goal.
Yeah. He's extremely. His tape to tape passes in the D zone are extremely fun to watch. He's so smooth with the puck. But my thing on him, and I don't mean to cut you off. When we were talking about the whole Stoll thing like 3 minutes ago, and I do understand what you're saying with the whole York is young, Emil is young, Zamula is like 23, 24. So you do, on a rebuilding team, maybe you want a guy like that to kind of show in the ropes. I get it. Emil's been playing.
That's what they were probably.
Emil's been playing professional hockey for the last 3 years.
I mean, dude, Travis Sanheim's 30. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what I mean. Like Emil Andre is not the prototypical 21-year-old defenseman coming out of junior or coming out of a year in the AHL. Emil Andre has been playing professional hockey in the SHL for 2-3 years now. And he's seamlessly made the ice change to North America. It doesn't even look like it affected him in the games that he's played. I mean, from my perspective, not that I'm a fucking defensive pro or anything, but this is not your typical defensive prospect. This kid has been playing professional hockey in a professional hockey league against grown-ass men for 2-3 years now. And I think he just proved in training camp and preseason that, like, hey, guys, I'm here. Like, I'm good enough to play in the NHL right now. I don't need to go to the AHL. Do I think it's going to hurt him if he goes to the AHL and play top pair minutes? No. But I think he's good enough. I think he showed that he's good enough to be at least in the opening night lineup, October 12th, he's just, like you said, he's like a bulldog out there, man. He's a smaller guy, but he hits you. He's clean in his breakouts. He's got good skating. He's just extremely calm defenseman back in his defensive zone. And if he makes a mistake, he doesn't harp on it. He's right back after trying something, hitting somebody. Nice. I mean, he's got a really good defensive stick when working on one-on-ones or two-on-ones or any kind of rush going the other way. He's just an extremely smart defenseman. He reads his gaps extremely well. I mean, I can go on and on talking about how this kid plays defense. It's just extremely exciting for the Flyers to have finally have a defensive prospect that looks really good. I mean, he looks... Emil Andre has looked better in training camp and preseason than Travis Sanheim has ever looked in a Flyers uniform. I'll say it. I don't give a fuck, dude. I don't care. Sanheim, yeah, he's a great skater, but what's he doing once he enters the offensive zone? He loses the puck and creates nothing. I've seen Emil Andre create more offense in the preseason than I've ever seen Sanheim create, bro.
Dude, I saw Sanheim on that bullshit again in the preseason.
He's
a couple preseason
so mediocre, dude. Such a mediocre hockey player.
Brent Flair prophesized this, though.
Yeah. Brent Flair. Yeah, exactly. Brent Flair was like, haha. Yeah, like, you guys think he looks good in rookie camp? Like, wait till fucking real camp. This kid's been playing with grown-ass men. That's exactly what he said, 100%.
So it's good to see that kind of just follow through, and he's on the team now. And I think Tortorella's going to like him. I think he's going to be the kind of player Tortorella's going to like. But that remains to be seen, obviously. It's just about getting in there, getting the reps now. Yeah,
I think Tortorella already likes him. I mean, Tortorella shouted him out after the first or second preseason game and was like, yeah, I see what you guys are talking about. I like this kid, too.
Even at the press conference. Like, I watched the kid's press conferences, and he's showing up in, like, a bright blue hoodie. He looks like he don't give a fuck. Like, he looks like he's too good for the media. I don't know. I love that dude. I like it. There's more personality coming to the Flyers, I feel like. More like confidence. I guess that's the word I need.
Yeah.
Confidence. There's more confidence being infused into that locker room.
Wait for Couturier and Michkov to walk into that locker room.
Michkov, oh my God. What he's going to do to this city.
You want to talk about personalities. He's going to
bring back the sea of orange, the orange crush. He's bringing that back in full effect. It's going to be a beautiful moment when he does it, too.
I really mean this when I say this. I genuinely think when he finally gets here and comes to Philadelphia, the Phillies, they're awesome. I cannot wait to watch tonight. I'm not comparing him to that or anything, but I really do think he is going to shift so many fucking heads in this city to where it's going to be like Michkov, Harper, Hurts, like as the dudes in Philly, dude. Because I just he's so marketable.
These days don't really like hockey, and
nope.
It's because the Flyers have been so irrelevant
for so
long. And Michkov is going to be that guy he's going to be their Giroux. What Giroux was to me as a kid, it's probably going to be what Michkov is to a lot of kids in the Philadelphia area. I cannot wait for it.
Yeah, I mean, and I will say this, nothing against Giroux, and I understand that Michkov is still a prospect playing in the KHL, but if that's their Giroux, that's a pretty good first fucking player.
You're lucky, bud. Yeah, I'll tell you that.
It's a pretty good player.
We suffered, so they didn't have to
get your first welcome into the NHL. Like, oh, Michkov came over. Yeah, I'll watch some hockey this year. Like, okay, yeah, welcome.
Yeah, I don't think people understand. Like, our lives as Flyers fans has literally been people telling us times when they were great. Like, yo, back then they were good. Lindros was good though, bro. Like, Peter Forsberg, like, oh, you should have seen all these guys in their prime. And it's like, all right, dude. I've seen Giroux, which was nice, but that era was god awful. And I traded away in a second. Honestly, it was that bad.
just zero support, dude. Literally left on an island for a decade.
It's just Flyers get shit on for years at a time, and our dad's constantly telling us, like, the 70s were lit. Like, the 70s when the Flyers...
Lindros was good.
Yeah, when the Flyers were winning games, dude, it was awesome. Like, I wouldn't know. I really wouldn't know. I've barely seen them win a playoff series.
Yeah.
Barely.
What was the last playoff series they won?
The last playoff series? I mean, do you count the bubble?
No, I don't. I don't count the...
So 2012,
the Crosby
series. the Giroux Game 6. He laid out Crosby.
Yeah. Wow.
Which is funny, too, because that series is what really dialed me in to hockey as a whole, to the Flyers. And it's so funny how, like, that was the peak. Me watching that, I was like, you know what?
Dude, what year was that?
2012. It was April of 2012.
Damn, dude. I was 11 years old, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Like, what the fuck? That's the last time. I think you asked me this before we hit record. When was the last time that I gave a fuck about a Flyers team? Like, genuinely cared? I think that's actually my answer. That team.
Yeah, that team was special.
Was probably the last time I gave a fuck. Like, obviously, I've sat through the last decade of this team. Obviously, I give a fuck. But, the last time that I was like, I would die for each player on that fucking team was probably that team. I was 11 years old, and I just loved them, dude.
I'm going to say 2014 for me. That's the last day. I loved that 2014 team, and it was mainly because of Giroux. Giroux carried them so fucking hard. He got a Hart nominee.
Are you surprised?
He was so good. He didn't score a goal for the first 2 months of the season, then came back and was just scoring every single night. And he was dragging that corpse of a team to the playoffs, and they still brought the Rangers to 7. Wayne Simmons Game 6 hat trick. Like, yeah, I love that team.
You're talking about 2017, 2018, right?
No, 13, 14.
I'm sorry, 13, 14.
17, 18.
Yeah, we lost to the Rangers.
I actually don't have as much love for that team as maybe others might. I don't know. I thought 2017-18 team was kind of boring. Their depth was god-awful, clearly.
Bad. Hal Gill was on the 2013-2014
Once
team.
again, another Giroux masterclass is what it took to get them there. Like, he had 102 points that season. Yeah,
Giroux had 28 goals, 58 assists, 86 points in 2013-2014. In 82 games. He played the full 82.
Damn. Like I said, no goal until, like, mid-November.
Yeah.
I remember it was against, like, the Oilers, I think.
Yeah, the 2017-2018 team was the last time that I've watched a Flyers playoff game inside the Wells Fargo Center. That's when we lost to the Penguins in 6. And I remember that. Me and you were in the building for that Game 6. That was the Couturier game, dude.
Yes, it was.
And that was the
what
last
game by him.
The last time they played.
That game's legendary to me.
It is, dude.
In that regard. Like, that performance is an all-timer for me. I actually was watching it today. Believe it or not, I was watching it this morning.
I recently just saw, a couple weeks ago, a clip of when Gudas hurt him in practice, actually. So that's pretty funny you say that. Do you remember that?
Gudas is a clown.
Actually had a pretty good year last year for
yeah, he's good.
Florida.
Like, actually, he's kind of what you want.
On a bottom pair role, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not saying he's a bad player. He's just.
But what did the Flyers do with him, Danny? What did the typical Flyers do with a player like Radko Gudas?
But they put him in a top 4 role.
Exactly. And tried to make him something that he wasn't. And then threw their hands up in the air and shrugged their shoulders when Radko Gudas wasn't a top 4 defenseman. It's what they've been doing for the last 10 fucking years. I'm so excited with this new plethora of advisors and just a new front office. Just the development process needs to be different, man, because I'm not just talking about fucking the prospect development. I'm talking about the development of the entire Flyers organization. And I think especially Keith Jones is going to be really important in that aspect of the Flyers. Because how many times was he on the broadcast just actually sounding mad about how the Flyers develop their players? Time and time again would you hear him be like, Jim, like basically be like, what the fuck with the way some of these players have been developed. And
That's how you know his intentions are just all there, because you've listened to this guy basically your entire life, so you know what he thinks about the team. You know how he feels about the current state of the team. Like, there's nothing fake here. You could have got any other guy from outside the Flyers organization, and they could have read some pandering cookie cutter thing, but it wouldn't hit the same as when Keith Jones says it, because he's there every fucking night.
Yep. He wouldn't have taken any other job, he said. He said, this is the only job that I would have even considered. So, I mean, you know he's not here for the glamour, you know what I mean? And the fame. He's here to turn the Flyers back into something worth marketing, worth wearing a jersey for, you know what I mean? Worth talking about. So, I have a lot of faith in that guy, and I know a lot of people in Philadelphia have a lot of faith in Keith Jones. So extremely excited to see what he does. It's already a good start. January 6th, they're gonna honor Ed Snyder versus the Flames. That's gonna be really cool. So it's just like little things like that it shows you that he knows, he gets it. You know what I mean? He understands.
First press conference, in the introductions, he says, "This is Ed Snyder's team." I love that.
Yeah.
I really did. I love that. He said it off the start. Because that was probably something that has to be frustrating for these guys. Ed Snyder was probably just everything to these people for some of their careers, for some of their post careers, and like the relationship Ed Snyder had with everyone in the organization was just next level compared to other organizations. It was, you kind of had to like see it to believe or to really feel it.
Yeah, and like you make a good point. Ed Snyder was 100%. An extremely important thing to a lot of these older Flyers, and I think at the same time that's what they're trying to do with like bringing Patrick Sharp on board and all these advisors that are former Flyers, and I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to just not go over the top of it, because hopefully these guys are so good at their job, because at the end of the day, if they're not, then it's not good for us. But walking the line of honoring the past and getting guys who respect the Flyers symbol. You know what I mean? It's just like getting that energy back into the building is extremely important.
This is random, but I was watching the Ed Snyder tribute, the bracelet game against the Washington Capitals. I was watching the highlight pack. Well, I said highlight, like the memorial pack that they put together for Ed Snyder before the game, and I forgot that Mike Richards was on the Capitals in that series on the fourth line, like making vet minimum money. Mm-hmm. And so I'm watching this the other day, and I'm reading the comments, and someone's like, "Look at Richie on the other bench, like that shit killed me," or something like that. And I was like, "Wait, that's right, Mike Richards is on this team." So I went back and watched it, and dude, he is.
Wasn't he like crying?
Yeah, he's in full tears. Like you could see how much he meant to everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good point, man. That kind of makes me emotional. You know what I mean? Like it just goes to show you how much he really. Don't
watch that if you.
I think I've seen it.
I went back and watched it. I got really sad the other day, bro, watching that. Yeah. It's a very sad tribute. Very sad tribute. Yeah. But it's a very nice tribute at the same time.
Yeah, at the same time, you're celebrating somebody's life and how much joy you brought a lot of people. The way they did it
was beautiful too.
Yeah.
Just wish that we didn't throw wristbands and shit.
Yeah, the game that preceded wasn't very good, but
that's the day like the organization died, dude. Honestly, that's the day like the organization we once knew fell off. It's starting to come back now, hopefully, but like from that day onward, it was like corporate shell.
Yeah. You know what the funny thing is? I remember the day that he died. I was in first block, like computer class.
We were in class together. No, we were in class together.
Yeah, we were, weren't we? Damn.
Remember, one of our classmates, I think. Like we were.
Oh shit, we were.
Yeah, we were shocked, completely shocked. We got like the alert on our. I think it was our
I walked out of the classroom, didn't I?
I don't really remember.
I think I got up and left, dude.
I just remember.
I think you followed me.
It was bio class. So we were next to each other, and we were just like, "Oh, that's."
Damn, I do remember that now.
You could just feel the shock, though.
Yeah.
I was like, we were what, 15, 16? And even we were shocked. Like 15, 16-year-olds, and we understand the weight that man had on the entire organization.
Yeah. So obviously, what do you think the players? What do you think guys who are a lot older than 15, 16 years old? What he meant to them. So yeah, absolutely, it's a good point, man. And hopefully, we're bringing that same embodiment of what he brought to the Flyers and what he brought to everybody surrounding the Flyers organization. Hopefully, we start to bring that back with Keith Jones, and I really do think that we're on that track, man.
Just Dan Hilfrey and that. I really do think that these guys are going to have that same family feel, pay it forward mindset, because that's what Ed Snyder brought them up in that feel. Mm-hmm. So they know it better than anyone. They know how to recreate it. They know what the player wants from the higher ups in that situation. It's so easy to root for. I've said it across the last couple episodes, but goddamn, if there was ever a group that I wanted to succeed, it's that one.
I mean, like, I think I said it in our last episode. Dan Hilferty was walking around during the open training camp a couple weeks ago, introducing himself to fans, like with us, like down with the fans, and it was crowded too. It was one of the season ticket holder days on a Saturday, so it was kids everywhere and families, and he came down and inserted himself into the huge crowd that was there and shaking hands, introducing himself. It was really cool, dude. Taking pictures. So, like you said, family energy
has been amazing. There's something about Dan Hilferty.
He gets it.
I don't know.
He really does.
You just kind of believe in him. He's charismatic. Yeah, that's the word. He's charismatic.
And that's something when you talked about the first introductory press conference, and he talked about when he was in college and they won the cup and they skipped school and went down to the parade and stuff. I mean, obviously he's not a diehard Flyers fan, but just hearing stories like that is just, you get it. Like you understand that people need to be in the right spots in the organization.
We need to be good. Like the Flyers need to be good. We've been bad for too long. Like he remembers a time where they were the top of the top.
It's kind of reminds me of the John Middleton thing when the Phillies. Like he understands that if you bring playoff baseball / playoff hockey back into the city of Philadelphia, the fans will come back. I mean, look at the Phillies for a decade plus, from when I was fucking 10 years old after the 2009 World Series to about when they get back to the World Series last year. So, a decade plus.
So inspiring. For me as a Flyers fan, it was really inspiring to see that, because I had thought the Phillies and the Flyers were both, in a way, dead in the water in this city. Like, we'll always love the Eagles, and it just seems like more and more everybody loves the Sixers. Like, nothing against you if you like basketball. It's just like, it's my least favorite of the four. So, but more and more everyone's kind of loving those two teams. Well, at that time, people were just kind of loving those two teams, and the other two teams were falling by the wayside because they were just so mediocre for so long. And you almost wondered if, for me as a Flyers fan, I wondered if the Flyers could ever get back to the level that they were once at, like selling out, ruckus crowd, let's go Flyers, like just daunting crowd, daunting building to play in. I had doubts like the last couple of years. I was like, dude, are we ever gonna get back to like the reason why we love this team, the reason why we love the brand, the organization? Are we ever gonna get back to that? That's what I was wondering.
Hopefully we're on our way, though. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. And it just takes one. Like Michkov, Harper. I mean, Harper's obviously different, but there's the parallels can be made.
I know what you're trying to say.
The spark of life. Like, like the spark of life, the franchise player, it just takes one. It just takes one. You get one guy in there who's just stubborn enough to get it fucking done. And I think Michkov is that guy. Then
Cutter, too?
Cutter as well. I like the mental makeup of the team as of now too. I'll also say that, like, they seem like they're really, like, they're tight with each other, but they also seem more business-like than prior teams, like the Hayes and Tony DeAngelo squads, if you will. Seems like there's more business-like approach, that they know that everyone thinks they're going to be bad, and I think that they're going to use that. I mean, to how much that is effective, we'll see.
Yeah.
But
the
it's
skill
fun
gap.
to, like, watch.
The skill gap only goes so far, right? Like, you can
They'll catch some teams, though.
Oh, but 100%.
It's gonna be fun to see. It's gonna be fun to see, like, a good team that comes here. They're tired legs, like end of the road trip, and the Flyers are rested. It's gonna be fun to see them swarming on one of those teams.
It is, dude. I mean, if you go through the lineup, it really isn't that bad, man. I mean, Farabee, Couturier, Konechny, Atkinson, Frost, Tippett, Lawton, Cates, Forster / Brink, Delorier, Paling, and Hathaway. Forward group really isn't that bad. I mean, you get to the defense. I mean, it gets pretty shaky. It
starts getting rough. But you also have two great goalies, though. So it's like
two fun goalies for sure. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, two guys that are used to playing in front of god awful defenses and still win games behind atrocious defenses. So it's like, it'll be fun to watch. I'm very.
I gotta ask you something real quick. How surprised are you that Cal? Is it Pettersson or Peterson?
So excited! I'm actually glad you asked that, because I was talking to my dad about
that. He's got sent down.
I was like, get him out of my face, dude.
How do you say?
I never want to see Cal Peterson, right?
Peterson. I don't know if it was Pettersson or Peterson. It's probably not Pettersson, but yeah, Cal Peterson.
Get that guy out of my face.
Get him out, dude.
He let every shot in, dude.
Like, I
I've
get
never
it.
seen anything like that.
We want to be bad, but like I can't watch that, dude. You know?
Exactly. I don't want it that bad.
Got to be at least competitive to start the season. So, a Hart Urson tandem is going to be.
It's beautiful.
Actually, pretty fun to watch.
I love Urson, dude. I really do. I'm a big Hart fan. Don't get me wrong, but like I just love Urson.
I'm excited for the goalies, man. I mean, you got Urson, you got Hart, you got Kolosov,
Yeah, dude.
Fedotov's. I don't even know what that is anymore.
I joked for years about the goalie factory shit, but it's kind of true. Like,
It's getting there, that's for sure.
So it was a play on the Howie Roseman quarterback factory thing, but it could be true. I mean, they got some goalies, dude.
They do. They really do. And then they drafted a couple. This draft, who I'm pretty sure they've played over the weekend. Let me check real quick. Speaking of prospects that have played this weekend, I mean, we have tons of goalies. I mean, not just goalies and forwards who have started their regular seasons or in the middle of it. I mean, you got Michkov. I already said his 11 points in the KHL, but you got Kolosov, who I'm pretty sure he has 2 or 3 shutouts already, but he's got a 2.3 goals against average and a 9.21 save percentage in the KHL in 9 games, so that's not that bad. Bjarnason, the kid that we drafted, the goalie this year, in 3 games, 4.02 goals against average, 8.92 save percentage, so not a great start in the WHL for him. And then Yegor Savarjan. If I just butchered his name, let me know. I'm sure Dank will. In 5 games, he has a 1.38 goals against average and a 9.58 save percentage in the MHL. So that's like the AHL of the KHL.
Dude, I don't care what league that is. It's nasty.
Yeah, that's dirty, right? So he had a good weekend. You know, Couturier had the overtime winner for Boston College in his first game of the season. I don't know if that's preseason or regular season. Do you know if that's regular season?
Yeah, I want to say that was regular season.
Okay.
I want to say that was like one of their first like meaningful. Yeah, it was banner raising night.
Okay.
Right?
When the fuck did they play preseason games? Did they were those just not televised? I guess.
Beats me, brother.
Yeah, whatever. Denver Barkey, 3rd round pick this year. 3 games, 1 goal, 2 assists. He was. Oh no, I'm sorry, 2 goals, 4 assists. That's crazy.
Bonk and Barkey. Dude, yeah. I just can't wait to see. I'm just going to finish off on Couturier real quick. I can't wait to see that cheat code of a release. So many years I've had to watch the Flyers play teams where a guy will just like skate past the blue, flick it, and it's in the net. Just a cheat code of a release. And I can't wait to have a guy like that. Can't wait to have multiple guys.
I was going to say, we have like, I mean,
Tippett, low-key, has a cheat code of release at times. Like I said, go back and if
he absolutely does.
Anyone listen to this, go back and watch it. It's on YouTube. Pull up his all 27 goals from last year. He has like 15 that are disgusting. Like the goalie's looking him in his eyes, and he's still like top of the face-off circle, and he still wires it and beats him.
Definitely has a handful of extremely nice goals, which is why I think he can go 25+ again this year. So it should be fun to watch him. But from him, Forrester's got an insane shot, Michkov, and then Couturier. We have 4 guys who can absolutely wire the fucking puck. So that's something I'm not really used to as a Flyers fan. Because I grew up with Jeff Carter, who could really shoot the puck. I mean, G had a good shot when he fucking used it. Who else? Like that's about it, right? Pronger had a really good one-timer, but that's not a wrist shot coming off the fucking wing down on the rush.
Yeah, no, we've yet to really have like one of them new age NHLers with the new release. You know what I mean? Like the drag wristers, and we haven't really had a guy with the new age release yet.
I mean, like Frost and Farabee do it, but they're not good at it.
Yeah, they don't do it consistently. It's like Frost and Farabee, they'll pull it out every now and again. You're like, yeah, what the fuck? That was nasty, and then they like won't do it.
Yeah.
And so, whereas Austin Matthews just does it fucking 60 times a year.
Oh fuck. Anthony DeMarco 3 minutes ago, hearing the Flyers will be placing someone on IR, which will get them down to the 23-man roster.
Oh my God,
to start the season.
I can't believe that.
Is that Risto?
I can't believe I said that as a joke to you or not really as a joke, like I was actually serious, but I can't believe I said that to you the other day and it happened like a day. Like it's actually annoying. I was like, someone's gonna get hurt, but I was like, someone's gonna get hurt. when we were talking about the lineup battles and like what the opening night roster is going to be.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck it doesn't matter because someone's going to get hurt anyway. And someone got hurt. Every year, someone gets Thanos snapped. I mean, we know how this goes.
Is it Risto or is it Avon? Did Avon get sent down yet? JR, Avon, I know he got hurt in the beginning of camp and he didn't play all of camp. But he's not on the roster anymore, right? Or is it an active... I don't know, dude. My guess is it's Risto, because Risto was banged up to finish the preseason.
Yeah, I guess we're going to have to wait and find out, man.
It better not be Couturier. That would be gut-wrenching. I'm not even going to throw that out there. Why the fuck did I just say that? Let me shut the fuck up. My apologies, listeners. And Danny. I'm not even going to talk about that, but stay tuned if on X for whoever that is. Because, I mean, the rosters have to come out tonight, so we'll see who the hell that is very soon. Ooh, Alec Bohm. Let's go. 1-0. Phils. Perfect timing to end this, too, right when the Phillies are about to start. Beautiful.
Bro, the Phillies are winning?
Yeah.
What?
1-0. They just started.
Oh, I think we're going to have to wrap this one up, brother.
Absolutely.
This was episode 101 of Liberty Out. We'll be back next Monday, right?
Yeah, every Monday.
Yeah, I think they play Thursday and then Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if they play that Sunday or Monday. But definitely 2 games, 2 regular season games we will be talking about. Hopefully it's a fun one. I'm so excited. I can't wait.
I know. It's going to be very exciting.
Follow us on all the socials at The Liberty O. Follow me at TLY Danny. Follow Chris at Chris Stumps.
And go Floor.